question in this exercise, question 13.1.2. Consider the following distribution of daily wages of 50 workers. Find mean daily wages of worker of the factory by using an appropriate method. They have given us a table. We have certain class intervals. So between 500 and 520 rupees per day, there are 12 workers. They earn this much money. Are they earning exactly 500, exactly 520? We don't know. Anywhere in between this class interval. So we do not know what are the exact value of the daily wages of these 12 workers, but we know that they are, whatever they are in this range. Similarly, 520 to 540, we have 14 workers and so on. Since this is a range and not a very specific value, the first thing we are going to do is like get the midpoint of this class interval. So the midpoint of 500 to 520 is 510, midpoint of 520 to 540 is 530, and so on. Even though these 12 workers are earning anything in between 500 to 520, we are going to pretend that they are earning exactly 510. So these 12 workers are earning 510. That's what we are going to assume. These 14 workers are going to earn 530, which is the midpoint of this range, and so on. This will help us calculating the average value. However, we can multiply these numbers and we can figure it out like these numbers are going to be pretty heavy. So we are going to use the assume mean method. So the middle value, which is 550, we are going to assume that that's the mean. And eventually we are going to correct our assumption. Remember, this is the assumed mean. This is not the correct answer. For the time being, we are going to pretend that 550 is the middle value and that's the assumed mean. And now we are going to calculate deviations from this mean. So this particular class, this 510 is minus 40 from this 550. And what is the governing formula? Individual value minus the assumed mean. So this 510 is 40 below. This 530 is 20 below. That's why negative. This 550 is at par, 0. And this 570 is 20 surplus. 590 is 40 extra surplus. Now, instead of getting these values, now we can take these values, which are comparatively simpler. We can make it further simpler. We realize that these are just multiple of 20. So we can divide them and we can use the step deviation method, which is after getting the deviations, we will divide them by the common factor, which is 20. So this minus 40 will become minus 2, minus 20 will become minus 1, 0 as it is will become 0, and so on. Now, instead of dealing with these higher values, we will be dealing with only these step deviations and multiplying them with the individual frequency, the quantity, the amount, the number, how many people are earning that much money. So now 12 times negative 2 will become negative 24, 14 times minus 1 will become minus 14, 8 times 0 will become 0, 6 times 1 will become 6, 10 times 2 will become 20. And we are going to add these multiplications. This will come out to be negative 12. Remember, there are altogether 50 workers. So the total number of frequencies is 50, matching with the number of workers given in the question. If you want, you can actually add them, but that number will come out to be same as the given 50 workers. Now we will use the formula for calculating the actual mean for the step deviation method. So mean is the assumed mean, which we have assumed to be 550, and the remaining part we are going to can be seen as correction. So we have something which we have assumed. We were knowing that that's not going to be the correct value anyway. So we are going to apply some correction, and this correction depends upon this summation of the step deviation multiplication. So minus 12 divided by this 50 multiplied by 20. Now, why we are multiplying here 20? It's a part of formula, but one way to realize this one, here we have divided by 20, thereby reducing the numbers to a smaller value. So in order to compensate for that, we have to multiply by 20. And if you simplify that, that will come out to 550 plus negative 240 by 50, you can multiply both numerator and denominator to make it minus 480 by 100. That way you can calculate this as negative 4.80. Apply that with 550 positive and your final answer is going to be 545.2. These are rupees. This is the average value of the earnings of these 50 workers, and that's in rupees.